Welcome, everyone, to the Passion for Plexus team call with Diamond Ambassador Timie Yancey, who's going to take us to church and school and teach us all how to be diamonds. And Shane is going to kick us off in prayer.
Dear Father, we just thank you for everyone who is on the call tonight. Thank you just that they are a part of our team. Or I guess not all of them are a part of the team, but we're just so thankful for all of them. Father, we're just thankful for Timie and her taking time out of her schedule to spend it with us and help teach us a little bit about how to work our business better. And so, Father, just pray that you bless this time and bless each one on this call. In your precious name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, baby. Yes, Timie, thank you. Hallelujah. Thank you for doing this for us, for real.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Timie, and I am a stay-at-home mom in Benton, Arkansas. I still consider myself a stay-at-home mom. That's what's awesome about this job. But I'll tell you a little bit about how I got started for those of you who don't know. I started like probably a lot of you guys. I had a little bit of weight that I wanted to lose, so it was totally vanity. I've been watching my friend. Y'all probably have heard of her. Her name's Christy Hull. I had been watching her for about 7 months because I wanted to make sure she didn't die from Plexus. And what I noticed was she kept getting cuter and having more fun and going on these trips. And I'm like, okay, she hasn't died. It's worth me trying. So I signed up to be an ambassador. I'd never tried the products. I just wanted them the cheapest way possible. And I literally said to Christy, do not get excited. I don't like to work. I'm not doing this as a job. I'm just getting my products at wholesale. Like, don't get excited. And 2 weeks in, I noticed things that I'd kind of chalked up to being normal, not sleeping well. I cheered all through high school and college, and so my shoulders would hurt a lot at night. But I thought it was just normal. I was like, it's downhill from here. I've had 2 kids. I'm in my 30s. Like, this is the beginning of the end. And what I noticed, and that 2 p.m. crash, anybody? Okay, so that 2 p.m. crash would kill me. Every day I would nap with my kids and I would wake up feeling worse and really just kind of disgusted at myself for wasting so much time during my day. But 2 weeks into Plexus and all of that stuff was better. So I say that I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 college degrees and I worked in corporate. I worked for 7 years. And so my first degree is journalism PR. And in my communication classes, I was taught that omission is a lie. So if you omit information, that is basically the same thing as telling a lie. And so I have always been somebody who I felt like if I found something that worked, or I found something that was good, or I found something, as little as like kids' costumes on sale at Target after Halloween. Like, if I don't tell people, hey, you can get dress-up clothes for your kids right now for like $3 and $4. Like, if I don't tell people, I feel like a horrible human being. So it just came naturally with Plexus that once I found that I was feeling better, I felt like I couldn't keep it a secret. I couldn't be a decent human being and literally not tell my friends and family about it. So I didn't know anything about the comp plan. I didn't know anything about the products. I'm still not a product guru. Like, if you ask me a super smart question about an ingredient, I'm going to go ask Rachel Neagle. I don't know. But I just started telling people, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. That's one of my first points, but I just started talking. I was excited. That's all I had. I didn't have knowledge. I didn't have expertise. I didn't have any of that, but I had excitement. And I fast started to almost senior gold, and I didn't even know I'd done it. Literally, we had no idea that fast starting was even an option. I got my paycheck, and it was literally what I had been making full time as our state's largest, an editor, the managing editor for our state's largest publication, which was a magazine. And my paycheck was the same as what I had been making full time there. And I messaged Christy and I'm like, what? This can't be right. We didn't realize I'd fast started. So you would think that my husband would be on board. But if I'm telling you, for those of you out there that maybe have a skeptical spouse, I know what that's like. Jake saw my paycheck and he was like, what are you doing? I hadn't even told him. And I was like, well, hello, I'm taking some products that are really awesome. And by the way, I started telling people about them and here's our paycheck. And he was like, we need to cash this and stop immediately because I think it's illegal what you're doing. And we don't want to be selling anything to anybody. And like any great wife, I didn't listen. I just kept doing my thing. So for those of you that have skeptical spouses, skeptical family members, we all have somebody skeptical in our life. There's one thing that is going to shut those people up. You doing your thing and being successful at it. So I kept doing it. And at that point, I think my paychecks were around $4,000 to $5,000 a month. And Jake said, hey, I know you're having fun with this. I can tell you're a lot happier. He could tell I was happier. I hadn't lost weight at this point, but I was like in a better mood and not tired. And he said, if you continue to make like $4,000 to $5,000 a month, that can be your, whatever you make with Plexus can be your spending money. Can you talk about the hardest thing to eat your words? Okay. So now that I'm a Diamond Ambassador, Jake told me what I make with Plexus is my spending money. So anyways, I just want to say I am 2.5 years into Plexus, and it has been the best decision that my family's ever made. Jake joined me in the business when I was about 4 months in, and he is now an almost Sapphire Ambassador underneath me. So the moral of that story is keep doing your thing because those haters are going to join you, okay? But I want to talk to you a little bit about what I have done to personally add so many people. I love adding new ambassadors. And for those of you, whether you are just starting out or you have ambassadors underneath you, I want to say that you need to continue to grow your business. Just because I'm a Diamond Ambassador and I have several sapphires, emeralds underneath me, golds, it doesn't matter. I still continue to grow my team. I still add, Jake and I both add at least 3 to 4 people, each one of us every single month. There's months that it's harder than others, but that's something that I feel like is very, very important to do. So I'm going to share with you a couple tips that I have done to personally sponsor so many people. It's things that I feel like you probably already know, but I want you to really think and dig deep about if you're doing them. And I'm going to give you some tips along the way too about some like personal strategies and stuff that I've done. So number 1, whether you are new, maybe you're new on here, do not wait. Okay. I did not wait to share about Plexus. Once I decided that I love the products, I shared. Now, people are going to be drawn to excitement over expertise any single day. So that is one thing that I had going for me. I'm still not an expert. Like, I'm not the person that somebody comes to when they ask me about ingredients. And you don't have to be, you guys. I feel like so many times when we start this journey, we feel like we have to change our personality or, you know, I'm not a Sarah Marble. I'm not an Annie Hale. I don't know if you know any of these people, but they're all totally different than me. I have kept true to myself. So that's one thing that's going to turn people off is if you are trying to be something that you're not. My family, we are crazy. We are a hot mess. I'm not the epitome of health. I try to be, and Plexus has really helped me to be that. But if on day 3, when I had started Plexus, I started spouting off about how people need to stop eating fast food and focus on gut health and like all this stuff, like people would have laughed at me and not listened to me because that is totally fake. So don't feel like you have to be a Timie or you have to be a Rachel or a Shay. All you have to do is continue being yourself and fit Plexus into it. So what I did was I continued to post the shenanigans of our family. I just added Plexus into it, okay? And be excited. Sometimes we lose that excitement, especially if you've been in this a long time. You guys, you want me to tell you the number one way to build your excitement back? Maybe you're in a place where you're struggling, or you feel dead in the water, or you're not really excited about your Plexus business anymore. The number one thing to do to get that back is to personally sponsor someone. And this is a side note, but if you are not speaking, and if you would have told me this a year ago, I would have laughed at you and said, did you get that off the Oprah Winfrey show? But if you are not speaking personal affirmations to yourself, then you are missing out. I was in a slump. Does anybody remember this little period in time where it was probably like October, November, December. We got a new thing called the new back office. Does anybody remember that period of time? Yeah. Okay. So if y'all are new, yeah, lucky you. If you're not, you were around for a little switchover that we had with the back office. My husband and I lovingly refer to it as BBO and ABO, like BC and AD. BBO before back office and ABO after back office. They are two distinct periods of time. Okay, so I was in a slump. At the same time the back office change happened, I got in management mode. That is the number one biggest roadblock that I have had in building my business, was getting in management mode where I was not personally adding. I was thinking things that were kind of funky. I didn't feel like anybody could tell because I was still outwardly the outgoing, crazy person, but I was speaking to myself. I was telling myself, oh gosh, this back office is really screwing things up. Nobody can get their products. You're not really a great leader, so this is not going to go well for you. You accidentally got into this position. Like all of this stuff I was telling myself, but as soon as I was telling myself, I would just kind of put it out and keep going, and I didn't think it was affecting me. And I wasn't speaking positive affirmations to counteract the negative things, okay? So I went to Jules training. We went to corporate and went to Jules training, and they started talking about positive affirmations. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Hum, little hum. It's going to make me a diamond if I tell myself I'm a diamond. I was like, these people are crazy. But my business is kind of sucking right now, so they may be crazy, but I will give it a try. Okay? So I got back from the Jules training, and I started telling myself, you are an amazing leader. You have the fastest growing team in Plexus. Y'all, that was a total lie. And I almost couldn't even choke the words out of my mouth at first because nobody was promoting on my team. I wasn't personally adding anybody. None of it was true. But I kept saying it to myself. And I will tell you, within 4 months, I'd been stuck at Sapphire. I promoted to Emerald in 7 months. I promoted to Sapphire in 11. I was stuck at Sapphire through 23 months. So I didn't promote to Diamond until 23 months in the company after being at Sapphire 11 months. So it was like a year that I was at Sapphire. When I started speaking those positive affirmations to myself, I promoted to Diamond within 3.5 months. And I've been stuck there for almost a year. So I'm just saying, y'all may think I'm crazy, but if y'all aren't doing that, do it. So that was totally a side note. But okay, number 2. So the first thing I did was don't wait. You guys, don't wait. Talk to people every single day. Share your excitement. You don't have to be an expert. Be yourself, because your friends and family care about you. They don't care about you, the Plexus expert. They care about you. Okay, number 2. You need to become an influencer of people and a friend to people before those people will trust you with anything, with their health and wellness, with mascara, with anything, okay? So you need to think about what kind of influence you have on your social media, on your network, okay? The biggest way to become an influencer is to become a friend, and to make people feel good about themselves. Okay. Do you constantly, everybody asks me how, the same, I loved when Celeste said, how did you go diamond in such and such time? And she's like, I didn't. I went diamond in like 30 something years. So it is all about building relationships. You guys know that we're in this because it is a relationship building thing. It is not a sales position. It is a relationship position. So become an influencer by posting, by interacting, by making people feel good about themselves. Think of somebody in your life that you consider charismatic, okay? Think of somebody that maybe is on your Facebook page that you can't wait every day to see what their posts are, okay? Like Susie, think about Susie and Chris McCall. I know a lot of y'all probably follow them. Why do you follow them? Think of somebody like that, that is an influencer. What is it about that person that you're drawn to? It's probably not necessarily anything they do or say, but it's how they make you feel, okay? Oh, thank you. It's how they make you feel, okay? So think about that. They comment, they interact, they tell stories on their timelines. They let people involved in, get involved in their life. So become an influencer. Now there's a little formula. Have y'all heard of the Frank's list? Tell me y'all have, right? Okay. There's a little formula that I follow that helps me know when it's appropriate to interact or cold message somebody. Okay. And it is called, the acronym is called FORM, F-O-R-M, okay? When you have interacted with people on a personal level and you feel like you know about F, their family, O, their occupation, R, their recreation, things that they like to do with their time, once you know those things about them and you have interacted with them, then comes the M in FORM, and that tells you that it's time to message them. You need to constantly be updating this, like constantly be interacting with and keeping up with those 3 areas of somebody's life. There is nothing that aggravates me more than somebody that I haven't spoken to in a really long time messages me and they're like, hi, Timie, I'm sure you've been seeing my posts. I'm the new ambassador or whatever for, Yancey or Rodan and Fields and whatever. And I'm like, I didn't even realize we were still friends because you don't ever comment or like, or I'm like, I haven't seen you. Like, how did you even find me in your news feed? So it's so important. Now, here's the thing. If I see somebody on my friends list that I want to cold message, I will personally spend a week commenting, posting, watching their page, getting to know those things about that person before I message them. And I'm going to give you, in a minute, I'm going to give you my cold message formula, but it's so important to know those things. Now, if you are a really good communicator, you can find those things out pretty quickly, okay? People ask me all the time, how do you get so many strangers to join your Plexus team? Well, that's just the thing. The Yanceys love to add an extra S on our Franks list. So it's the Franks list, and we like to add an extra S for strangers, okay? And we love Uber drivers because they're already entrepreneurs. They are self-motivated. They like people. I love people at like checkouts. Like everybody at Target here in my town is like on my Plexus team. They have tried Plexus. We just love talking to people. In fact, out of those 400 people on my team, I would say half or more are people that I've only met one time or that I've never actually met in real life. Isn't that crazy? But they feel like they know me because of the form that I use on Facebook, interacting, getting to know them, or I have gone through form with them in person really quickly, okay? Let me teach you how to do that real quick. Say you are in the car with an Uber driver. Most of us, whether it's an Uber driver or somebody at the checkout line, we have the token 2 sentences that we say with people, and then even in an elevator, and then that's it, Okay. So say I'm in an elevator with Rachel, or at the checkout line, or whatever. Rachel's, she's giving me a service. I am paying for my stuffs. So Rachel will say, "Hey ma'am, how are you? How's your day going?" And I'll say, "I'm good, thank you. How are you?" And I'll just not even look up. How many of us do that to where we answer back, but we really don't even care what they say? We don't really interact with them. Same thing with Uber drivers. We get in an Uber driver. They say, "Hi, how are you? Where are you going?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to the Gaylord for Leaders Retreat with Plexus. Here's the address." And the whole time I'm like just looking at my phone, and I'm not even like interacting. I want to encourage you guys, if you will take it 1 to 2 sentences past that standard, what we call protocol, that's going to open up your day to having a million more prospects. Okay. So when I'm in an Uber, I'll say, "I'm good. How's your day? Oh my gosh. Do you love," like one of the questions I love to say is I love to take it to that next level and say, "Do you just love being an Uber driver?" I've never seen anybody who is an Uber driver that does not love their job. And then that they start talking about their occupation and working from home, and I'm like, "What makes you like it so much?" Guess what they're going to say? Well, in fact, the last guy we were in the car with said, "Well, I'm a student and I like the fact that I can work when I'm not in class. I can, if I have a class that cancels, I can work." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I work from home. Don't you love that? I love working from home. Have you ever heard of Plexus?" And I just bring it up. So, hey, Roxanne. So if you will just take it 1 to 2 sentences past that, checkers, okay? I've literally had this happen before. I'm in the checkout line at Target. I'm talking. She's like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good. How are you? How's your day going?" And I always use an open-ended question so that they can't say yes. I mean, they can say good, but most of the time they'll say, "Oh, it's going good." I'm like, "Oh gosh, has it been busy today? It's getting so close to Christmas. Are y'all like crazy swamped?" And I just keep asking questions and I keep getting to know them because people want you to be invested in them. I don't talk about myself. I ask them questions about them. And so she'll say, I've literally had this happen the other day. She said, "Oh, yeah, it is. It's so busy, but I've been here since like 4 a.m. I'm exhausted." Ding, 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 ding. Oh my gosh. I bet you are exhausted. I don't know how you do that. Have you ever heard of Plexus? Oh my gosh, we have the best energy capsule. It would seriously rock your world. So if you will just take people 1 to 2 sentences past what you feel comfortable doing, I'm telling you, people will invite you to tell them about Plexus. They will talk about working from home. They will talk about going to their second job. They will talk about how tired they are, how bad their kids is, okay? They're going to talk about something to where you can say, "Oh my gosh, have you heard about Plexus?" And this one's for free. This is another little side note. When they say they haven't heard of Plexus, I act like they are the last people to the party. I'm like, "What? You haven't heard of Plexus?" And they're going to say, "No, I haven't." I'm like, "Shut up. Yes, you have. You swear you have not heard of Plexus." And by this point, they're like, what is Plexus?" I'm glad you asked. And then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's a health and wellness company. We have products for everything. The products are natural. Gosh, we've got energy, weight loss, pain relief. You probably need that energy, honey. I see you up here working so hard. You need some of that energy. It's going to make your day go by a lot quicker." So just talk to people, you guys. Don't complicate it. Don't have to feel like you have to change your personality, be an expert, talk to people, and use form, okay? Do not be that person that messages people that you have not spoken to in years because they're going to end up hating you behind your back, okay? Okay, I have a formula that I use when I cold message people, okay? And it has increased my response infinitely, okay? So like I told you, if there's somebody I want to message, I will start interacting more with that person, okay? So Rachel Elizabeth. So say it were you and I started like commenting and stuff on your post, I would message you and I would say, "Rachel, hey girl, oh my gosh, that post that you posted the other day about your dog getting lost and you chasing him in the rain and the mud, I was rolling. That was hilarious. You must love animals a lot more than I do, because I would have been out. So I always start with something personal. I think a lot of times we get in a bad habit of making things about ourselves, okay? You've all gotten those emails that I kind of was poking fun of, like, "Hi, Rachel, I'm sure you've seen my Plexus post. I'm the new Plexus ambassador. I love this company, and let me tell you why." Like, you know what I mean? Those people that it's like, I, my, me, why. Like, nobody cares about that. Start the conversation by making it about that person. The whole conversation should be about that person, okay? So I would start by saying, "Rachel, oh my gosh, that post that you," so that they know you're engaged, they know that you're interacting and you're looking at their page. And then you say why you want them on your Plexus team. Don't be fake, don't be phony, but if you're messaging them, there is a specific reason that you want that person on your Plexus team. So I would just say, "Rachel, oh my gosh, you are adorable. Your posts are so fun, so interactive. People really come to your page to see what you're doing because you're so much fun. And I think the same thing. I want you on my Plexus team." Okay? I don't complicate it. I mean, do you not feel like you want to join like whatever team? When somebody tells you how awesome you are, you're like, well, I'm keep it coming. I guess I'm pretty awesome. So I always just tell people what it is about them that I find appealing. And then I'll say, you know, "I've had so much fun. This has been the best opportunity that I've ever done. The products are awesome. I seriously think about it because I would love to talk to you." And then here's the trick. I send that in written text, but then I always follow up with a voicemail, like a voice message on Facebook. Do y'all know what that is? I told people this on a call yesterday, and they were like, "Voice text?" I'm like, "Oh, honey, if y'all don't know what voice text is, you are doing it all wrong." Okay? I just send these all day, every day. So then I send a voice text, and I always give my friends a way out. Because you don't want it to be like awkward next time you see them. You don't want it to be like the elephant in the room. So then I'll say, "Rachel, oh my gosh, okay, that email ended up being longer than I thought it would be. But I just want to say, like, if this is not for you, I totally get it. It may not be for you. It's not for everybody. But I just want you to know that you're awesome. Like, I would love to partner with you and do this because I know we could rock it out or we could kill it." So I always end in a voice message by giving people a way out, okay? So they don't feel trapped. Because you don't want your friends to feel obligated to tell you yes. And a lot of times if they don't feel pressured, they're going to think about it more. Like if somebody just messages me and they're like, "I want you on my team, blah, 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 blah," I'm like, oh, you know, but if that person were to follow up and say, "Hey," and it might not be for you, but I just think you'd be really great at it and we could have a lot of fun, then I'm going to be like, well, she's not pressuring me. I'm not obligated. Like, I'm going to think about it. So that is my formula for cold messaging, my warm market. That's what I always do. Okay. Let's see. So I've talked to you about cold messaging, about the form I use when messaging people, talk to people every single day. Okay. Following up. I am possibly the world's best follow-upper. Did y'all know that? I feel like I should have like that in my stats, okay? I share all the time about how Plexus is like dating. Has anybody ever heard me tell this story before? Okay. So your Plexus business is like dating. Have any of you girls or boys, Tony, although y'all may not hate this. The boys are like, "Dang, I wish this happened." Okay, but girls, have y'all ever had that person that you go on a date with and they try to come in for the kill on like minute 5 of date 1? Right? Aggressive, like trying to seal the deal, and you're like, "Back up. Here's the cheek." Okay? Y'all know that person? Don't be the creepy person that goes in for the kill on the first date, okay? If you do not have to make out on date 1. If you agree to a second date, that is success. And if you keep agreeing to dates, that is success. You do not have to make out on the first date, okay? So it's the same thing with your Plexus business. Don't be aggressive. Don't feel like you have not been successful if you don't seal the deal, get the sale on your first interaction. To be honest, 90% of my team has told me no at one point or another, okay? And I've got a lot of stories to talk to y'all about people telling you no, okay? That's okay. No is a starting point, and you don't have to seal the deal on the first date. Just keep interacting with that person and setting up a second date, messaging them back and forth. As long as you are still in communication, you are still talking to them, you're good. You're good. Now, when the girl stops returning your phone call, honey, you may have a problem. But as long as you guys are still interacting, you're good. I have literally interacted with people for 2.5 years before they have purchased. And that is okay. Okay. So don't go in all aggressive, feeling pressure to seal the deal quickly. Okay. How many of you guys were at convention? Anybody? Okay. My favorite takeaway from convention was when the speaker said, hey, look down here. Do y'all see these jewels? Okay, good. Stephanie was there. Do y'all see these jewels? So we were in the MGM, and it's like huge. There's like 15,000 people in there, and all of the jewels were in the very, very front center of the stadium. And the speaker was like, look at these jewels down here, right here at the front of the stage. Who wants to be a jewel? Who's going to be down here next year? And the audience is like, what? Me! You know, like everybody all the way up to the nosebleed section was like, me! I'm going to be down there next year. And the speaker goes, okay, I'm going to tell y'all a little secret about what these people have done to get down there and what the difference is between you and them. And so the crowd is like silent. I mean, people are like, this dude who, whatever we paid him is worth it. He's fixing to tell me how to be diamonds. You know, the crowd is like silent. And they're like lingering on every breath that this dude makes. And he says, the only difference between these diamonds and sapphires and emeralds is that they've been told no a heck of a lot more than you guys have. And I was like, yes, that is seriously the only difference. Is I've been told no a ton. So, and I don't know what it is, but we're all scared to hear no. None of us want to be told no. But, so Ashley, so if I were at church with you, don't y'all love, it's like Russian roulette. I'm like calling y'all out. So say and Roxanne got her computer screen turned on now, honey. I can see you and that baby. Hey. Okay, so Ashley, say I'm at church with you. And I say, we're sitting next to each other, and I say, hey, Ashley, I'm getting some gum out. Do you want some gum? And if Ashley were to say no, which is totally likely that she'd say, no, thank you, am I automatically going to be like, oh, my gosh, she said no. There must be something wrong with this gum. I knew that this was not the gum that they said it was. She's going to block me on Facebook. I'm so embarrassed. What did I say wrong? I'm such a moron. Why did she tell me no? She hates me. I'm never asking anyone again because this gum does not work. No, you don't know why she said no to gum. Maybe she just brushed her teeth. Maybe she's got a retainer. Maybe she don't like juicy fruit. Like, none of it probably has anything to do with me. But when we ask somebody if they want Plexus and they say no, we think that Plexus doesn't work, that you're like ridiculous, that they're going to block you on Facebook, that you made an idiot out of yourself. Like, no, like just chill out. Are you going to ask Ashley ever again if she wants gum, if you have gum and she's next to you? Yeah, you probably are. Is she going to be mad that you asked her again, hey, do you want to try some gum? No. Stop taking it so serious, okay? So that's my thing about no's. Okay. Last but not least, you guys, don't quit. Don't quit. There are 3 things that I have done to become a Diamond Ambassador, and it is be product of the product and enjoy it and share. Talk to people every single day, and I didn't quit. I love how, if any of y'all have read like Sarah Robbins' How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business, I love that she says she has never seen somebody start with a network marketing company, legitimately work the business, and not make it to the top in 10 years. If it takes you 10 years to become a Diamond Ambassador and be making $420,000 a year, is it not worth it? Like I told y'all, I have 2 college degrees, and if I were working both of my careers with those degrees full time, I would not be making ever what I'm making with Plexus, okay? If I worked them both full time, 80 hours a week, 100 hours a week, whatever, I wouldn't be making what I'm making with Plexus. So I just want to encourage you guys to keep doing what you're doing and do it every day. Hey, Jake, I'm going to have Jake tell you an analogy. Hey, come here. Come tell your treadmill analogy. Close her up with the treadmill analogy in the Q&A. There he is.
Hey.
You have to give them your treadmill analogy. It's my favorite.
Okay, can I say one thing just to add what
No.
you've been talking about for the last hour?
You can hear me.
Oh, yeah.
Shane wants to say hi, Jake.
Hey, man.
Hey, Shane, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
This is the tallest man ambassador in the world. You are.
Probably.
Okay, anyways.
So you talked a lot about adding level 1s and visiting with people, strangers, that kind of stuff. You know, I don't know of any lately, and I don't know of many over our course of the 2 or 3 years that we've been doing Plexus, where we walked up to somebody and said, hey, you want to be on our Plexus team? And they responded yes. So don't feel like, you know, just because you hear no, that, you know, Diamond Ambassadors can just walk up to anybody they want and say, I want you on my Plexus team. And they go, oh, okay, where do I sign up?
No, actually now they're like, you don't need any more people. I'm going to join under somebody else who needs me.
Right. So it's a follow-up situation for all of us, and just keep that in mind as you go. But my analogy for
working your Plexus business.
Oh yeah, I compare it to a treadmill, because you go to the gym and there's this line of treadmills, right? There's 15 of them, and you can go and get on any one of them. They're all just sitting there waiting for someone to jump on them, right? And
mine's gonna be waiting a long time, honey.
And so you can go and you can push one, and you can go on a nice stroll, or you can crank it up to 10, and you can sprint it out. But what's important is it's not necessarily how fast you go, it's how fast you can go for a set period of time, right? So not everybody can jump on there, and you know, not everybody's training for a marathon. And it doesn't matter if the person next to you or on the treadmill next to you is training for a marathon.
And what's going to happen if you, ladies, if you look at that hot chick in the booty shorts next to you that's running on a 10, what's going to happen if you start looking at her, looking left or right, like, look at this chick over here? You're probably going to fall and bust your teeth out. So don't compare yourself to others in this Plexus business, because it's not going to end up good.
Right. And that person could also just be a quick sprinter, and they're here, you know, doing a 10 this week, and then they don't show up at all next week. So find a consistent a speed that you can be consistent with your Plexus business. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, a 10-hour work day or if it's a 15-minute Plexus day. Just find something that you can be consistent with.
Perfect. Yes.
Was that like a horn honk? Was that an 18-wheeler we heard there, or somebody over the road tonight?
That was the buzzer, and we're done. Woo!
Well, time's up.
Not done.
But anyway, so those are our tips. So you guys just remember, talk to people every single day. Don't complicate it. And most importantly, have fun. This job does not suck. I have had jobs that suck. This does not. This is fun. Have fun with it. People don't want to join a team of somebody that's so serious.
And there are things that are not fun to deal with. Just like with any business, just like with any job, any portion of your life. Having kids, there's times where it kind of sucks to be a dad. But guess what? The good way outweighs the bad. And, you know, if you just stick with it and minimize those bad times, handle the bad times, but move on from them, and you'll be fine.
Hey, and sometimes you want to kill your strongest leg. Okay, y'all, does anybody have any questions? I haven't even looked down here in this little special box.
Can we take a little like group photo really quickly before people pop off?
Thanks for warning me. I love it. Sometimes people don't warn me and I'm like.
Well, okay, so let me do one of you and Jake first because I didn't warn you on to take that one already. Okay, so we'll do this one. Precious. Okay, and then everybody show your face if you want to get tagged in the photo. Oh, we have 2 pages. Okay, 1 page. Everybody smile. I know. Smiles. We'll give people a second to put their faces on. Okay, everyone have their face that wants to be. Alrighty, everybody. And we have to do another page, Timmy. This is a big call. This is a big call. This is wonderful. Oh, there's Josie. Okay. Everybody smile. You don't know which window you're going to be on, so I hope you smiled for both pictures.
Oh, you just thought I was doing Russian roulette. It was really Russian roulette. I hope everyone has been smiling for the last 5 minutes.
I think we have, actually.
Been laughing.
Oh, my God. I was crying so much. So many funny things. So you guys, Timmy and Jake, I'm sure, is down for it, has offered to do like a little Q&A, which is very, very kind because they've already given us an hour almost of their time. But so if you have anything, please ask. Please ask. You can ask it in the comments.
And if you need to know anything that was going on in tonight's episode of Moonshiners, I can answer those questions as well because get off the couch.
I had moonshine one time, and that was enough.
Yeah.
I only needed it one time.
You know, they make like hundreds of gallons at a time, and I'm like, that should be the world's supply right there. Just that 100 gallons should last everybody.
Oh my God. Yeah, you have to be careful.
I don't even know how it's possible. Like, I think the stuff I drank was like cut like 4 or 5 times. But I was like, I don't know how people drink this.
Because you don't drink a lot. At all. Okay, Timmy, what do you do? Like, you're at the register, right? First, you don't want to be at the register too long because I meet people and I'm like, oh, she needs Plexus. How do you get them your website? Like, what's that interaction?
Okay, I forgot to tell this. So when I meet somebody new, I immediately add them on Facebook. So if I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, oh my gosh, Roxanne, you're so much fun. I've loved talking to you. Are you on Facebook? And she's going to say yes. And here's the deal. If you feel weird asking this, you look weird. Okay? If you feel weird, you're going to look like a serial killer. So fake it till you make it.
And you're going to feel weird the first time you do it. So find another weirdo to do it to.
Yeah. So, and it does get easier, I promise. So you just have got to go at it with high energy, fake it, fake yourself feeling okay about it, because trust me, the first few times I did it, I felt like I looked weird, and I did look weird. So do that. And so I'll say, Roxanne, oh my gosh, are you on Facebook? What's your last name? And I do it standing there, and I'm like, oh, okay. Is this you? And she's going to say yes. And I'm like, okay, I'm adding you. I'm sending you a request right now.
Because she wants to follow Roxanne, because Roxanne's the most interesting person in the world.
Yeah.
See where that comes into play.
So then we immediately screenshot that picture. Because how many times have we met somebody and then we get home and we're like, what the heck was that girl's name?
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to find her in the sea of friends on Facebook. So I screenshot them. So that's what I always do. Even if I don't have time to have a thorough conversation with that person, I always, always, always add them on Facebook. Okay, when Jake and I spoke for Super Saturday last year, we were in Canada, the world's coldest place, literally. So freaking cold. But we had to go out and find a tie for Jake to match my outfit, duh. So we go to literally the world's largest mall, and I'm talking to this girl, and I don't seal the deal, but I add her on Facebook. Guess what? The next, 2 weeks later, they ran a special for Canadians. So I got to message her and say, oh my gosh, guess what? This is so crazy, but it's 20% off for people in Canada today. She joined my Plexus team. So I love to keep people like that. And if you don't get a huge interaction, you don't really get to go through the form and get to where you feel comfortable like you know them, keep their names on a list for when specials come up, okay? I will also make my own private Timie special. If I haven't had a special and I have someone like that on my friends list, I'm like, Kimberly, oh my gosh, guess what I'm doing? This week, if you buy a product or join my team, you get blah, blah, blah. I love to make up a reason to message people.
And you can say, if you met them earlier in the month and then it's coming towards the end of the month and they haven't ordered or joined yet, you can say, oh, we're having an end of the month sale. Who doesn't have an end of the month sale, right? So
yeah,
everybody believes
totally legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Jake, good question for you. So,
No.
So, I'm not going to go and add a guy on Facebook. It's weird. I feel like it's weird for guys to be like, hey, are you on Facebook? It just feels like
Is it weird? We didn't get that memo.
Yeah, I'm missing that.
You have people like
I don't know.
Uber drivers on Facebook.
I mean, I've done it before, but it's always felt weird to me.
Baby, you have
guys don't do that.
But like we said,
you add people.
It's going to be weird for girls to add girls too at first. It's just kind of an abnormal thing to do. And
I mean,
with Uber drivers especially, you're really good.
Yeah, it's just always been awkward.
Yeah. But the more you do it, the less awkward you get at it.
And so that means you look like a serial killer when you're doing it.
Who is
think in your head, this is not awkward. This is totally normal. Speak those affirmations. I look like a rock star asking this dude for his Facebook information.
We'll have to work on that on the beach in Maui this July. Deal?
We'll do some practice sessions.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you got some questions, girl. Hey.
Hi. Do we ever hand out Peach Moonshine is the best. Do you ever hand out business cards? If so, how do you do it? Yeah. Yes. Do you hand out business cards?
Yeah.
I don't hand out a ton. I do the whole add you on Facebook because I want people to see how awesome our life is with Plexus.
Something cool I have heard with business cards is just leaving them. Emily Roberts does that. They were moving from Virginia to Texas and stopped along the way as they were driving a bunch of times. And so she
spent the night at our house. I'm like, you better not have left any of that crap in Benton, honey.
And so every restaurant, gas station, she would just leave it along the way. And she left so many that she ran out of hers and started leaving
Scott.
It was her
mom's. Her mom's. Yeah. Oh, this is funny. So she started leaving her mom's business card. So Jake pretended that he was a creepy guy named Marco, and we pranked Emily Roberts' mom.
Yes, we did.
It was awesome. It was so funny.
It was really good.
So, yes, I will hand out my business cards. I do it along with the technique of adding them on Facebook, though. We love to hand out slim packets, too. But I never hand them out unless I've added them on Facebook. You don't want to waste that liquid gold, honey.
Hey, Timmy, I have a question. So you said that you build relationships first before you reach out. Do you ever like reach out to people and just like dream team people that you wanted to reach out to just out of the blue and tell them whatever you want to tell them about the business opportunity and joining your team, or you don't do that? You just kind of build that relationship first?
No. Well, do you mean like people that I don't know that are?
No, people that you do know,
Yeah,
like that you're friends with that maybe you haven't talked to in a while.
Yes, I do it all the time. But what I always
Especially if there is a shopping spree on the line. There are.
Psycho.
I think she reached out to.
I was reaching out to 35 people a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will. But what I start doing is say you're on your news feed tonight and you're like, oh, I want to message Rebecca. I would start interacting with her a couple days before I message her. Like I would start liking her post, commenting under some of her pictures, that sort of thing. I never just like straight message them and be like, hey, I know I haven't talked to you in like 2 years, but so I always kind of ease my way in.
Okay.
Unless there's a shopping spree, and then sometimes I have been known just to, but in an ideal world, I would always start interacting with them first. And not necessarily so much that they notice it. You know what I mean? Not like me inboxing you and talking about your hot swimsuit that you wore in Hawaii. Whoop, whoop. But I would just start like subliminally, like liking their post, commenting here and there, that kind of thing.
And
Okay.
you can even message them. Like I've started doing it where I just literally will message them and be like, I love your pictures that you're posting. You're so inspiring. Thanks for putting so much positivity out there. And they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. You too. And like, just, you don't even have to have something specific. Just like, thanks for being positive. Because sometimes you can't find something. You're like, man, their last picture was like 6 weeks ago. I don't know if I can comment on that, So just messaging them and saying like, loving your vibe. Kimmy has a question. Kimberly.
I don't. It was Danica. I'm so sorry, but I am like literally loving this Zoom. Like I literally can't even right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you.
No, thank you.
Recently that you love it since he joined, or like the whole thing?
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like both of y'all are my cup of tea. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Good. Well, then you're going to watch our reality TV show?
So Kimmy is Senior Ruby going towards the Emerald right now.
Oh my gosh. Yay. So we'll get to hang out in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Super excited.
Yes, a lot of people on this call. She's my strongest leg.
We got a question.
Oh, Sully?
Okay, how do you say your name? I've been wondering that.
Hotness. Her name is Hotness.
Stoli, you're muted.
Oh, is it Stoli? That's so cute. And she disappeared. Where'd she go?
Yeah, Stoli.
Did you turn off your camera, babe?
No, I accidentally muted her.
Oh, Shane turned
Oh, the truth comes out.
Unmute her.
Let me
Are you there, Stoli? There you are. He like me and turned off my video.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's Stoli, like the vodka.
I love that.
No, I have a question. I'm like probably the world's worst cold messenger. Like I don't like cold messaging people at all because, like you said, I like to build their relationship first. So how, not really people you're reaching out to put on your dream team, but just people that you want to buy the products. Like what do you say then? Like how do you message after the initial, hey, how are you doing type of thing?
I don't really do a lot of cold messaging about the products unless I see them post something or I've heard them say something. I don't really just message people and say, hey, I really feel like you need these products. I really don't do that a lot. I message people a lot about the business, but really the only time I cold message about the products is if I see them post about being tired or about having migraines or about some of the things that I know Plexus can help. And I literally just say, hey girl, I saw you post about this. I don't know if you've heard anything about Plexus and, whatever they post about, but I just want you to know, like, I've seen some really awesome testimonies from that. And I can send you some if you want. You totally don't have to buy from me. I'm not asking you to buy from me, but I really feel like these products could help you. Do you ever message people about the product?
I mean, I do.
You probably do more
I
than I do.
message more people about the products than I do about the business.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Kind of the same thing. I just say, hey, look, I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but I've seen some amazing testimonies with what Plexus can do for whatever illness they might have.
So do you wait for them to post about something or what? Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually a pretty direct, like they've said something and that's my response.
Do you ever message people?
Because I feel like that's almost marketing 101. I mean, that's the Plexus God setting a potential customer right in your face. So,
that's them reaching out to you and you're just responding to their question in the first place. If I'm complaining on Facebook about being tired or my knee hurts or this, that, or the third, you're just being a friend and looking out for, they're already reaching out for help in the first place for.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that Plexus God speaking?
Yeah,
because
I yes, hallelujah.
came down from above.
I'm a friend. True-hearted friend. That's what I am. Sorry.
Where are you at?
He's in the dark. I see him. Oh, no. That's Ashley.
Who was that? I see nobody's mouth moving.
This is Tony.
Oh.
This is Tony, Plexus dad to 3. He's incredible. He's going to be on stage schooling us. Believe that.
Yay.
I'm
Hey,
talking
Tony.
about.
Well, he wasn't on our screen. We were like, we could see no one's mouth
No,
moving.
I had a photo up for a moment. I'm multitasking right now.
Of course you are.
He does have that like deep voice, let me come to you and tell you a sermon kind of a thing going.
Yeah,
I would listen. I would be like, tell me more.
Jake, he makes fun of me anytime I ever ask him to do something. That was the voice that you got, Tony. Like if I say, hey, Jake, I need you to, this curtain rod fell down. I need you to go hang it. Show him what I get.
I can't do it. Roxanne knows from my Snapchat. You have to watch my Snapchat to get Sergeant Yancey up in here.
Do it, Sergeant Yancey.
Do it.
You can.
I'm proud to report, ma'am, that we have successfully completed our mission of hanging the curtain rod.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, real freaking fun. Ask him to do something. The sergeant comes back and reports that it is completed and it is completed to military specifications.
That's perfect. Tony's our Navy man.
Helicopters.
Well.
So he can start using that.
Yeah.
Rachel, did you have a question? Rachel Elizabeth?
Okay, yeah. First of all, I am like your biggest fan. I've probably seen every video you've ever made. Like, you lit my fire. I just love you, Timie. Oh my God.
Oh, well, thank
I'm
you.
so nervous even like having, the whatever to ask you a question. But
When I called you out, did you start sweating?
yes. I was texting my friends like, oh my God, I'm blushing. Like, I don't even know how to react.
I'm very fancy. You should be very nervous. We're very, very fancy over here.
Fancy Yancey.
Whatever, you're so real. I just love you so much. So my question is, I have literally gone through, my 1,500 friends in the beginning. So I mean, I've been doing Plexus a little over a year now, and like I messed up, y'all. Like I messaged my dream team people stuff you shouldn't message people. So how do you go back and try to get them again without really scaring them away and getting blocked?
You pretend it didn't happen. just like we pretend that they didn't say no.
That really is, yeah.
So literally I would say, okay, look, I messaged you like a year ago and you are still my #1 dream team member. Why in the world would you not do Plexus? What is holding you back? Like, what is the #1 reason you don't want to be on my Plexus team? I literally am so direct with people, like, and then they'll answer you, I promise. Just be direct with them and ask them. When people start messaging me about Plexus, and then I get crickets. Have you ever had that happen? And then you're like, what the heck do I do? I literally message them back, and I'm like, Rachel, did you die? I know you saw that post. Why are you ignoring me? Literally, that's what I say to people. And that's because it's my personality. So just do things that are in your personality. Some of y'all might not be quite as obnoxious as I am. If you are, keep being obnoxious, because literally every single person that I've messaged that to after like crickets have replied, oh my gosh, LOL, I'm so sorry. I'm totally not ignoring you. They think it's funny. So there's a way to be direct and still be funny and have your personality. But I mean, that's what I would do. I would say, look, it has been a year. You are still my dream team member. I cannot sleep at night because I want you on my team. What do you think about joining my Plexus team? I mean, just message them again and let them know, like, just be honest with people. You could even say, look, I messaged you and I'm reading it back and I'm like crawling under the table at how obnoxious my first email was to you. But I just want you to know you are still the one person that I want on my Plexus team. Just be honest with people. People are attracted to vulnerability and honesty and flattery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Timmy, will you share your 3 closing things that you did in the closet? Obviously, you don't have to do all of them, but like your 3
in my closet. What were they? I can't remember. I get on a tangent and then
the one that was like, ask him like what is keeping you.
Yeah. Okay. And if you have somebody that is giving you the runaround and you can't get a straight answer, I will literally say, Glenda, I feel like you are having a hard time telling me no. Can I ask you, I'm just curious, what's holding you back? Okay. It's totally okay. I ask people that all the time. And if any of y'all listen to Dr. Laura on Sirius Radio, she tells you, stop assuming. Like when somebody calls in and they're like, well, I think this, and I think she thinks this. She's like, shut up with the I thinks, okay? We can think what we think all day long, but we never know what's holding them back unless we ask them. So I do this all the time. So if it's a close friend of mine, I'll say, hey, if you're having a hard time telling me no, it's okay. If this is not for you, it's okay. Because listen, you don't want to be strung along by somebody hoping and waiting, and you don't want to slow your business down to somebody that is just giving you the runaround. So I would rather somebody be like, I just don't really want to do it, than dragging me out. And then the other thing I'll say is, hey girl, I feel like something's holding you back. I'm just curious. You've asked a bunch of questions about Plexus. These we both think these products can help you. So I'm just curious. I love using the words, I'm just curious, because people always answer you. So I say, I'm just curious. What is it holding you back? And you will get to the root of the problem rather than saying, oh, I think it's money, or I think, whatever. It's better just to know, and then you can address that. Okay, what was the other one?
Are you asking me what your other one was?
Yes. Do you remember? I can't remember what they were.
Oh, you create a Timmy special.
I know. But did I put it on Periscope? I think I put it on Periscope, or did I put it on where did you see it?
Facebook, and then maybe a YouTube link.
Okay. So it might be on my YouTube channel. So y'all go, it's just Timie Yancey on YouTube. But I think it was just straight up asking people. Then a second one I will do is create a call to action. So I'll create that special or incentive. I have a list. Your business is like a funnel. You funnel people in constantly. Your yeses come over here. Your no's go over here. I keep my no's literally in a notebook, and I wait for specials, and I come up with incentives and things to move them over. So I don't remember what the third one was. What do we do?
And your funnel is it's not a month-to-month deal. We still have people that we started in our funnel process 6 months ago, and then they just now join our team and become a customer. So keep in mind that, when you're adding people to your funnel, it's a long-term process. And, if you're not adding, you can still have a good month in December based off of the people that you added into your funnel back, August, September, October. But you might not be adding to your funnel right now, and that's good. That's not going to show up in December. It's not going to show up in January. It's going to show up in February, March, April. Okay, so make sure that your funnel is continuous. That you're pouring into your funnel on a consistent basis. And
Rachel, you said you'd gone through all 1,500 friends. Sister, you got to start adding. Join some groups. Like, what are some things that you guys, I'm in a ton of like buy and sell kid groups, and I've gotten a ton of ambassadors from there. Jake's in a bunch of like dorky boy groups, like
flat-coated retrievers, which is our
puppy, our dog,
the dog that we have, or mud trucks, or whatever. And there's actually a section in Facebook it's like an app within the app. So go to Facebook groups, and then you can search the groups from there.
Yeah, and so you need to constantly be adding to your network. So join groups like that and start interacting with people. You should always be constantly adding people to your Facebook page until you get to 5,000 friends and can't add anybody anymore.
Then you got to start kicking some people out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tony, if your phone isn't dead yet, will you share what you did? So we have a Hawaii Hustlers group. Anyone that adds 3 people in 1 month can go into that group. And we have challenges each week. And one of them was to join groups. Kristen Wyatt does it with me, the girl who let us use her Zoom. And some of her team members are on here too.
Yeah.
And we talked about joining groups and interacting in those groups and kind of setting up and, planting those seeds. Because on December 31st, there's going to be a Blitz Day. And everybody's going to get contacted on December 31st with whatever special everyone comes up with. And Tony killed it.
Yay. Where's he at?
Awesome.
Where are you at? There he is.
Where? I'm here. I think I added 5 groups, and I started listening to a couple in the chats just now, but I think stay-at-home dads is a huge one for me because that's people trying to be parents and trying to make an income.
Yeah.
So obviously I can hit home for a lot of people there. Energy is obviously a part of all that. And then there's some Durango 4x4 off-road guy stuff, but more on a personal level, to create that relationship. And I definitely had some intriguing questions that went out there and I just used polls. It's one thing to say something. It's another thing to like and bring back all these people that just clicked on one of these 2 options. And then those are not to say that I friended every single one of them or I even requested it, but I went through and attempted conversation, per this thing. What made you say this? What made you say that? Because at the end of the day, it wasn't a question. It wasn't here, figure out what to say. Everybody knows that multiple choice questions are more intriguing. Everybody wants to take a survey if it's click here, versus let me get your sentence structure. How are you going to answer that appropriately? Or how's they going to understand what I'm saying? So I did a lot of poll stuff.
Like about the groups, or what do you mean?
In regards to the group, nothing Plexus oriented at all.
Okay, but then that's how you built relationships.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's very smart.
Yeah, I thought it was really helpful in regards to bringing people to my page one conversation at a time.
Perfect. Yes. And you guys need to constantly be doing like Tony is and adding to your network, because that's what's going to keep the person that's going to get you to the next rank is not on your team yet. Okay. The person that's going to get you guys Emerald is not on your team yet. The person that's going to get you Sapphire is not on your team yet. So keep adding people.
I had not thought about that.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to marinate on that one for a minute.
All right. I'm going to go put our children to bed.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh.
School night. Good to see everybody.
All right.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks, Jake. I know, Timmy, you've
I appreciate it. I got to get off too.
Yeah, this has been incredible, amazing, unbelievable. We love y'all so much. So thankful for you.
Hang on. Let me just show y'all what kind of stuff goes on in the Yancey household about why we're so fancy.
Do you want me to keep the recording going?
Can y'all see? Hang on. Look.
Chelsea, get out of her cage.
Do y'all see the rat?
Uh-uh.
Where's she at? Can y'all see her? There she is.
Hello. She camouflaged.
Oh my goodness.
She blends in with the floor.
I mean, this is the kind of stuff going on in here.
Sorry about that.
Oh, Vendrix. It's okay. Hi, Pumpkin.
Those guys.
You see?
Hendrix remembers riding in the sand with me in
You
Kona.
remember Miss Rachel? You wrote in the sand with her in Hawaii. Okay. Get the rats. Don't do that. You're gonna fall on them. And that's the kind of stuff that goes on here. Like literally, Jake saw the rat running across the floor. We're super fancy. Y'all should be really nervous to talk to us. We're very refined.
Oh my goodness, you're so funny. I'm gonna stop the recording real quick, but thank you so much, y'all, for all being on. I'm just gonna stop the recording. Doesn't mean everyone has to hop off. Just stop the recording.